I'm Olivia Oldfield, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Dennis Klein, and I'm a senior.
Darian Nelson, senior.
I'm Hunter Coffey, and I'm a senior at Banks High School.
My name is Taylor Lovelady, and I'm a junior at Banks High School.
Tegan Henderson, junior.
Malia Stewart, 10th grade.
I'm McKenna King. I'm a junior at Banks High School.
I'm Trevor George, a senior here at Banks.
My name is Alan Wilson. I'm a senior.
Towards the end of last year, there was a pipe burst that happened on the stage in the cafeteria, and it flooded the whole stage area.
My most memorable experience would probably be as being a member of the robotics team when we were in our robotics room last winter and the ceiling started leaking, and we had to get 5-gallon buckets and put them under the ceiling to make sure that we didn't get big puddles in the room. Good times.
Probably sophomore year when I leaned on the sink in the boys' bathroom by the office and it fell off its hinges and broke. And they said that they were going to replace it, but they haven't, and that was like 2 years ago.
Probably my most memorable experiences are going to be in the shop. We worked on many different projects in there. A lot of them weren't even shop related. They would just be projects that we would work on in like our organ history classes and stuff like that. We just build things, and a lot of times we would put those into practice around different parts of, sometimes the town. So yeah, shop.
I would say my most memorable experience with the facilities would be this year's senior night on Kelly Field. I love all the seniors, and it'll be sad to lose them.
Definitely sophomore year when we won our first state playoff game for soccer. It was the first time the program had been to playoffs in about 4 years, and we'd just been building so much, and just to have it all like in that moment, the atmosphere was incredible, and it was just awesome.
My most memorable experience with the facilities here is my freshman year when a ceiling tile fell in the main hallway. There was asbestos that came out of it. It was really like a big deal for those who had just come to Banks because we were all shocked by how bad the facilities were for that. But the other grades, like the older kids, were really not surprised, which really shows how bad of a facility there is if nobody's surprised that ceiling tiles are falling. But that was definitely the most memorable experience.
Our facilities aren't the best, to be honest.
For the facilities specifically, Carrie's room is definitely very memorable. I remember sitting in there, and even if something's not interesting in the class, there's always something going on the walls, or I know that the air vent above us you can see the air coming through. There was one time when stuff just started leaking out of the back room. So there's always something to see in there.
I'd probably say the various home soccer games and track meets that I've had here. We just have so much pride in, Kelly Field and coming there and our big stadium, everybody seeing the fans there. And then it just gives us a lot of motivation to really do well at those games and those athletic events. And I know I've had some of my best PRs in track on that track, especially now that we have our new sponsored by Penny Night, our new red track, which is really cool.
Welcoming. This school is a very nice school, and some areas need some work, but it's not a sad school. It's not dreary or anything.
Old-fashioned, and I say that because while it's small, some parts of it really could use renovation.
Just old, a really old school.
Nostalgic, probably.
I would have to describe the school as close because with it being a small school, everybody knows each other. Everyone has a feeling about each other, and honestly, it's a good experience.
Community for sure. Through playing sports, I've gathered a large community around me and have great people around me, and I know that'll carry on later in the life.
Community. It's very much, even though we have rough facilities, everybody's really nice here. It's like a family.
Probably broken.
Old.
Motivational, I think. I think the idea that a school like this, it does, your first glance at the school, it looks kind of not really very spiffy. There's not a lot of, expensive, high-quality stuff going on here, but we produce a lot of high-quality students, high-quality athletes. Everybody here is really willing to work and do their best in everything they do, and it's really inspiring to see everybody taking advantage of the opportunities they have here, even if maybe at another school there would be more.
I think they're more positive than negative. There are some things that do need to be worked on, like how there's asbestos and how, like you said, there was the ventilation in Mr. Mayo's room. And like there is some things that need to be worked on, but I think it's a pretty positive school. We're all alive still, so I take that as a positive.
I would say net negative. While I do really like having a small community in a small school, I think some of our facilities are really outdated, and especially in the case of our robotics room, they can really hinder our productivity. So I would say net negative for those reasons.
If you put everything together into one big picture, like the smoke in the classrooms or the heating or the chairs or the rats in the walls, it's net negative. It doesn't really affect my ability to learn necessarily, but it negatively affects the quality of me actually going to school every day.
I would say net positive. I know that there are like some things that maybe need to be upgraded or need to be a little bit newer, perhaps, but none of it has affected my learning personally. Everything that we have seems to be doing a great job of helping with me learning. We do get new equipment with certain things here and there, and so it's always nice to try those new things.
In a positive aspect, I would say the conditions at the high school are kind of memorable because my dad and grandpa both went to high school here, and the school is very similar, which kind of gives it character. But in a bad way, I'd like to say that it's not the same as it was then, and so as we evolve, the school needs to evolve as well.
Positive for sure. I think just like through community, we have a great like system here. It's a pretty small school. Everyone knows everyone, and that's nice in a lot of ways. And it'll like you have lifelong friends through any like club or extracurricular you do.
Net negative. It is a really nice thing that we have a small school. I think it really helps build our community, but there is something to be said about going to a school with good facilities, without leaks, without rats and mice and asbestos. I think if people are to move from Banks, that would be the main reason they move, is because of the lack of facilities.
So a little bit of both. Like the people in the school, the staff, everyone is so wonderful, kind, but the facilities themselves need a lot of work, and it's difficult to learn without proper materials, and like our classrooms are rough and they need work and our materials and all that.
For the conditions specifically, I do love Banks, but for the facility itself, definitely net negative.
I would say net positive. Honestly, I would never want to go to another school other than Banks, because I feel like because of the small environment, the welcoming environment, all the teachers and mentors supporting the students, I feel like you get so much more opportunity to take leadership roles, to be a part of all the many clubs they offer, and they're always really flexible and willing to work with you. And like I said, I think it's really more impressive to come out of a situation like this where maybe we don't have as many resources and still be able to produce the kind of work and experiences that we do.